Hey guys, in this video, we're gonna do something we never do, and that is get political.
Yes.
We don't do that, do we, Andre?
No, we don't talk about religion either.
No, but we'll let you know why, because Andre is now Fox News famous. In other words, Fox famous. But first, a word from our sponsor.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Hey, Andre, you know our policy at TFL, right?
Yeah, no shorts.
No. Yeah, we're not allowed to wear shorts, but okay. That's a different policy. The policy I'm talking about is we do cars and trucks, but not politics.
Or religion.
No religion.
No religion.
Yeah. But we're going to break that rule today.
Why?
Because of something that Fox News did. Yep, they took one of your videos and used it to hate on EVs and hate on Joe Biden. So let's give them some background. When we had the Hummer EV from GM recently, and by the way, we bought ours, which left me stranded.
We also bought our own.
So we had two. We had one from GM, and then we bought our own. And if you want to see what happened to me, go over to TFL Truck. There's a very interesting video there. But this is the one from GM. We thought, let's see how long it would take for it to charge up from almost empty. So what did you do?
Yes, so first of all, you and Tommy did a video charging at Electrify America and EV Go. These are level 3 fast chargers. And indeed, the GMC Hummer EV truck was the fastest charging electric vehicle we've ever tested.
Yeah, up to 306 kilowatts.
Yes.
Which is crazy fast.
And then later I saw 335 kilowatt charge speed.
Wow, that is...
which is fast.
Which is fast. But if you plug it in at home, it's much slower.
Yes. So you asked me to do this, and I thought it was a great idea. I pulled up to my house. The GMC Hummer EV was at 4%, almost empty.
So you know what? Let's just roll the video. You did such a great job with it.
Oh, thanks.
The new GMC Hummer EV truck is the quickest charging vehicle on the market right now. But what if you're not at a fast charger and just at home? How fast does it charge? Just plugged it in my house, 120 volt. Using the Hummer cable. Level 1 charging, 120 volt using the Hummer cable. Right now it's about 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and it says it'll be full by Saturday at 10:55, which is 4+ days of charging. Wow. I have a juice box, level 2 charger, 240 volts at my garage. Plug in level 2 charger. Now it says it will be done tomorrow by 6:30, so about 24 hours of charging from 4% to 100%. It's a 212 kilowatt hour battery. Still takes a while.
Yeah, good video. And, we've been pushing both shorts and our TikTok channel, TFL Studios, because that's where all the audience is.
Yeah.
And you did a really good short, basically showing how long it takes when you plug it in to your outlet or when you have a level 2 charger.
Yeah. And it was a long time.
Yeah, it was a very long time, like 4 days and 24 hours, depending on how long it takes. And, that's because it's got a giant battery, right? How big is the battery?
212.7 kilowatt hours. This is basically 2 Tesla batteries, or even more than that.
Which, the upside is you get a lot of power, 1,000 horsepower, and you get a lot of range. But the downside is it takes a long time. It's like a gas tank, right? If you have a bigger gas tank, it takes longer to fill up with gas or diesel than if you have a smaller one.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out that a certain Fox News personality, why don't you tell them what happened?
So then I get messages online and in my social media, and they are saying, hey, Andre, you're on prime time with Fox News Channel with Jesse Waters.
All right, so he took your video.
Yes.
And basically used it as a way of, making fun of electric vehicles and Joe Biden. Basically politicizing the video that we did, which was basically just a fun video to show how long it takes to charge the largest batteried EV.
Yeah, and I didn't know I was on Fox News.
You didn't?
No.
Until people texted you. Let's run that. Let's show them what they did.
It's no secret that Joe's been pushing electric cars the whole time he's been in office, telling us going green's the way to not really have to worry about high gas prices. And Joe has some electric vehicles in mind for you, like the GMC Hummer electric pickup truck. One of these babies will set you back at least 87 G's. But hey, anything for the environment, right? Joe even took one of the puppies out for a spin last year, remember?
want to jump in the back? On the roof?
You look good,
This
President.
sucker is something else. It's 3 times as heavy as my Corvette, 3 times as fast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is incredible.
It may be fast, Joe, but you know what it's not fast at? Fully charging.
The new GMC Hummer EV truck is the quickest charging vehicle on the market right now. But what if you're not at a fast charger and just at home? How fast does it charge? Level 1 charging, 120 volt using the Hummer cable. Right now it's about 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and it says it'll be full by Saturday at 10:55, which is 4+ days of charging. Wow.
But if you don't want to wait 4 days to charge your truck, you can also buy special equipment. A 240 volt level 2 charger that's going to set you back about $500 plus around $1,000 just to install it. But even then, the charging's not so fast.
I have a juice box level 2 charger, 240 volts at my garage. Now it says it will be done tomorrow by 6:30, so about 24 hours of charging from 4% to 100%.
Dad, can we go somewhere? I'm sorry. Give me 24 hours. But if you don't want to wait that long, you can charge it at a faster level with the level 3 supercharger, which isn't normally used in homes because it's $35,000. So aside from charging about as fast as a turtle, there's other things Joe didn't seem to think about in his Hummer fantasy. What would happen if a family had one of these electric cars in Florida when the power went out because of the hurricane and you have to flee? It's not like you could stock up on gas. Not to mention going green means more inflation. These batteries, solar and wind, require massive amounts of energy, like nearly 2,000% more nickel than fossil fuels used for the same amount of energy. More lithium, graphite, steel. That's just going to increase our reliance on China. They have all these natural minerals needed to make all these EVs happen. And what happens when everybody's charging their EVs and the electrical grid is overwhelmed? Well, it happens already in California. Starting in 2035, California is going to ban all gas-powered cars. They've already banned gas lawnmowers. Less than a week after they announced that, California had to ask its citizens not to charge their EVs because it could cause a blackout. So maybe the next time Joe goes and shows up in public playing with his little Hummer, he'll bring this up. Probably not, though.
All right, so basically they took the video and used it to kind of poke fun, hate on, however you want to say it, Joe Biden.
Yeah, and I actually, to give Jesse Waters credit, I'm happy he used all of my video. Because I was afraid they're going to take one snippet or something.
Yeah, they didn't take it out of context.
Yeah, so they showed the whole thing, which is good.
So let's do a little bit of fact checking, okay? First and foremost, one of the things they said that this is Joe Biden's favorite EV. Now, I was under the impression that Biden was a Corvette guy.
Yeah, he's mentioned it many times.
He owns one.
He owns one. He also talked about it in some of his speeches as well, Corvette.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact. He was recently on Jay Leno's Garage, and I heard an interview with Jay where he said that when he talked to Biden, basically the rule is when you become president of the United States, you lose your driver's license. In other words, you can no longer drive on public roads.
I don't think I knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And so whenever you see him either in Detroit driving the Lightning or the Hummer, wherever he drove that, or his Corvette with Jay Leno, it's always not on public roads.
Yeah, so when Ford was introducing the F-150 Lightning, there was a pretty famous clip of Joe Biden accelerating, right, in the Lightning.
I'm going to paraphrase him. I think he said something like, "This sucker's fast," or something to that effect.
Boy, this is fast.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he said something only Joe Biden can say.
Exactly. So we're paraphrasing.
And I was jealous because this was before journalists were able to touch the Lightning. He was first.
Yeah. And so the point here is I'm not sure that the Hummer is Joe Biden's favorite EV. I think the guy it's on record, I think he's a Corvette guy. In fact, the classic Corvette guy. He's had a classic Corvette for a long time. So, to swipe him with that is probably a little bit
well, he did also
unfair.
drive the Hummer.
We
have footage of that.
He did.
This sucker is something else. It's 3 times as heavy as my Corvette, 3 times as fast. Oh, wow. This is incredible.
All right, so we're going to try to stay out of politics as much as possible because I don't like doing politics. I think it divides our audience, and we want to get as many people on as possible, not have only half the people. So that's why we don't do politics, but we do cars and trucks. So let's talk about some of the technical specifications that this story gets at, right? So first and foremost, I think we have to talk about the point that they're making is that it takes a long time to charge up an EV at home. Basically, they said, Jesse said, hey, if you want to borrow the Hummer, it's going to take you 24 hours. But there is an upside to that length, and that is basically an EV becomes a vehicle that you can charge up at home. In other words, your house becomes a gas station.
Yeah, so you don't no longer have to go to a random gas station on the corner. Your house is now basically, or can be, your fueling stop. And do you always drive your vehicle 350 miles a day?
You probably don't. Most people probably drive it, to work and back. So you wouldn't usually have a very empty vehicle if you were sitting at home.
And the reason why I was empty, of course, because we were towing a trailer all day long, right? So you would do that, of course, in your life. I mean, you could use your truck, in this case, GMC Hummer, to tow a trailer, maybe go on vacation. But mostly, generally, in your daily life, you might be just driving, 50 miles a day?
Yeah, so we've owned now 3 Teslas and about, I'd say, almost a dozen EVs, right? And you have an EV, I've lived with an EV, and we're not doing this because we're trying to promote EVs. We have no horse in this race. We're just trying to test out the newest technology. And what Fox News was getting at was that, California and now New York, and this is also a fact-checking thing, have mandated that people can no longer buy internal combustion engine cars that are solely internal combustion engine by 2035. Most people get that wrong. They think it's all internal combustion engine cars. So you can still sell hybrids, you can still sell plug-in hybrids, you just can't sell traditional cars that have no electrification. So I'm just setting the record straight. But what we're doing is testing the newest vehicles and hopefully coming up with what's good and bad about it. And to be fair, Hoovy just did a video where he took a Ford Lightning and towed with it and found that it doesn't have a lot of range. We did that video 2 months ago.
Yes, sure. And that's true. Electric trucks right now are not great for long-range towing.
Yeah,
they're bad at that.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible.
Yeah.
We have a Ram 2500 Cummins diesel, and you can easily tow up to 300 miles on a tank full.
Yeah, and in case of a Lightning, we towed about 88 miles. And then, we towed with this Hummer, we were able to go about 120 miles.
Yeah, so it is not a great use case scenario for an electric truck. Now, there's another thing that people get wrong, and this is someplace else where we need to set the record straight. They say that electric trucks aren't good for what trucks are good for, which is 2 things, right? Hauling and towing. Let's separate those 2 because we have separated them in our testing. Towing, not good. Hauling, not bad. It's not the weight, it's the aerodynamics of the situation.
Yeah, and also depends on your trailer, right? We've tested them with giant camping trailers. A lot of aerodynamic drag, really difficult for these vehicles to deal with. But when you put, like a motorcycle in the bed, or you're carrying some payload and you're still relatively aerodynamic, these trucks can go a long distance.
Yeah, so it's really not the hauling part, right? They still have a lot of payload. They still have a lot of use as a truck for hauling stuff. They just don't do well when towing stuff.
And there's one other or 2 other things that they're really great at. First of all, driving in traffic. A lot of us live in cities. We have traffic jams, and electric vehicles, especially like this Hummer too. When you stop and go traffic, you regen some energy, you gain some energy. So it actually becomes more efficient to drive in traffic.
Now, Fox News did make a good point, and we have to give them credit for that. Let's say that you did have an internal combustion engine vehicle, pick your vehicle, a Ford F-150 that's not electric, and you're out of gas. You could have a jerry can in your house, right? And you could just, within, 4 minutes, get to a gas station and be on your way.
Yeah,
you can't do that with an electric vehicle.
You can't, because there's only so many electrons you can put into the battery right now. There's only so fast you can do it.
It tows really well. It's super stable, even when I'm not touching the steering wheel, when I'm actually towing with Super Cruise. This truck has a lot of mass. Like I said, it weighs about 9,400 pounds. It also has rear wheel steering. So yeah, overall, it's a really solid towing rig. And I'm already approaching 60 or 70% of battery. So I used about 30% of my battery already. So I don't know if I can make it. So that's gonna be the ultimate thing, because there's not much in between here and there. As you can see, we're in the eastern plains of Colorado. It's pretty flat, but there's not a lot of towns and not a lot of chargers.
The EPA range on the Hummer is 329 miles. That's not towing, right? Which is doable, and based on our testing just of the truck itself, that seems very realistic. But towing is a whole different question. This is where I wanted to get to. Up by McConaughey, Ogallala. Yes. But it's still 115 miles away. There's no way I can make this. Instead, I have to backtrack a little bit to Fort Morgan, and it says stations are full. Let's see how far. 14 miles away. But I have 23% left?
Yeah, so that should be plenty, right?
Well, 23 divided by 2, because I was getting about almost...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that's about 12 miles.
All right, we just showed you a preview of a video that we have not yet published, which is the Hummer towing.
Range test.
Range test, yeah. Which is coming. And once again, how far did the Hummer go, Andre?
Which was about 123 miles on a full charge with that camping trailer. So if you want to take it on vacation, that's not a great truck to take.
Yeah, you have a boat. You probably would not take that because you take it down to Lake Mead from Colorado, and that's a long way.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive it on my vacation.
There are some use case scenarios where electric vehicles are better, and the most obvious one is if we charge up our vehicles at home at night, I'm paying 17 cents a kilowatt hour. So it's about, I'd say about a quarter of what it would cost to fill it up at the current prices at the gas station. It's a lot cheaper. I mean, it is just a lot cheaper.
Yeah, of course there are some negatives. I mean, some people might say, okay, well, you have to install a level 2 charger at your home. That could cost a lot of money.
Fox News mentioned that. Those are about $500, and it could cost anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to install them. Exactly right.
It's not easy. So, and also, where does your energy come from, ultimately, right?
In America, the fact is 75% of it in the lower 48 states comes from non-renewables.
Yeah.
It's 95% for all you Alaskans.
Yeah, so there's still, those topics to be discussed as well. And we forgot one other benefit of electric vehicles: speed.
Oh, there's damn
acceleration.
Quick. Yeah, we got. You know what? Why don't we leave them with a little bit of a clip of our
drag race?
Of our drag race we did with the Hummer EV. And yes, our Hummer EV. We're very well aware that we spent $115,000 on it, and it's broken, and it's at the dealership as we're recording this video. And the software took a giant dump. And I think just by the fact that we showed that in the video, go over to TFL Truck, you know where we stand on. But that's a whole different thing. People also need to separate, while we're doing more of this kind of fact checking, the software from the powertrain, right? So electric vehicles are controlled by software to a large extent, but you know what? So are internal combustion vehicles now.
Yeah.
It's not. If you really want old school, go get yourself a square body Chevy from the '80s
with a carburetor.
With a carburetor, right? Which has its own issues as well, especially up here at sea level.
Yeah. High elevation. Yeah.
So are you Fox famous now, Andre?
I guess I'm Fox News primetime famous.
Congratulations. I hope that we've helped. Well, you know what we've done? We've just created more controversy.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right. See you guys next time. Check out this fun drag race. Ciao.
Oh yeah, you got a leap on me.
Holy cannoli!
Whoa, you got a hell of a leap on me.
Oh! Go, go, go! I think I left David in the dust.